Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm excited to have you here today because we are going to explore an ancient philosophy together that, despite being over 2,000 years old, has the power to profoundly transform our modern lives: Stoicism. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by work stress, anxious about the future, or burdened by worries that seem never-ending, then this video is for you. We live in an era where demands and pressures are constant, and often, we feel like we're losing control. However, Stoicism offers practical tools and timeless wisdom that can help you face these challenges with a new perspective and inner peace. Today, we're going to dive into the fundamental principles of Stoicism and discover how this philosophy can not only help us manage our emotions better, but also find peace and balance amidst daily chaos. From learning to differentiate between what is under our control and what is not, to living in accordance with our deepest values, Stoicism guides us toward a more serene and meaningful life. So, if you're looking for a way to reduce stress, find clarity, and improve your emotional well-being, I invite you to stay with me and explore how Stoicism can be the key to transforming your life. Let's discover together the power of this ancient philosophy and how we can apply it in our daily lives. Stoicism is a fascinating philosophy that originated in ancient Greece around 300 BC, founded by Zeno of Citium. Zeno, a Phoenician merchant who was shipwrecked near Athens, was so impressed by the city's philosophical teachings that he decided to dedicate his life to philosophy. Inspired by the precepts of Socrates and other schools of thought, Zeno developed Stoicism as a way to live in harmony with nature and find true inner peace through virtue and reason. Over the centuries, Stoicism was adopted and enriched by the Romans, who appreciated its practical approach and its ability to guide conduct in daily life. Some of the most notable exponents of this philosophy include figures like Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, who captured his Stoic reflections in his work Meditations; Epictetus, a slave who became one of the greatest Stoic teachers, whose teachings have inspired generations; and Seneca, an influential advisor and tutor to Emperor Nero, who wrote extensively on ethics and virtuous living. Despite being over 2,000 years old, Stoicism remains surprisingly relevant and practical today. This philosophy is not just an abstract theory but a guide for daily life that offers powerful tools to tackle contemporary challenges. In an increasingly complex and stressful world, where uncertainty and change are constants, Stoic principles provide a solid framework for living with serenity, resilience, and purpose. From managing stress and anxiety to seeking a more balanced and meaningful life, Stoicism offers a valuable perspective for navigating the modern era. But what exactly is Stoicism? In essence, Stoicism is a practical philosophy focused on living a virtuous life in harmony with nature, both the nature of the universe and our own nature. Stoics believe that true happiness and tranquility do not depend on external circumstances, which are often beyond our control, but on how we respond to them. This philosophy teaches us that instead of trying to control the external world, we should focus on mastering our own reactions and attitudes. Stoicism invites us to cultivate a set of cardinal virtues, such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, which enable us to live with integrity and balance. Wisdom involves acting with good judgment and discernment, making informed and reasonable decisions. Courage refers not only to bravery in the traditional sense, but also to the strength to face adversities and challenges with calm and resilience. Justice guides us to treat others with fairness and respect, while temperance teaches us to moderate our desires and live in a balanced way. A fundamental principle of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control, which helps us distinguish between what we can and cannot control. Stoics argue that by focusing solely on what is within our control, such as our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we can achieve inner serenity regardless of external circumstances. For instance, we cannot prevent it from raining, but we can choose how to react to the rain, whether by lamenting the bad weather or enjoying the opportunity to reflect while indoors. In practice, this means learning to accept things we cannot change and directing our energy toward improving what we can influence. By doing so, we free ourselves from the anxiety and suffering that come from trying to control the uncontrollable, and we find a deep peace that comes from living according to our highest values. Thus, Stoicism not only provides us with a moral compass to guide our actions, but also an effective strategy for facing life's ups and downs with equanimity and strength. Let's delve into some of the fundamental principles of Stoicism and how you can apply them in your daily life. The first principle is the dichotomy of control. This means that we should focus on what is within our control and accept what is not. Imagine you are stuck in a traffic jam. You can't control the traffic, but you can control your reaction to it. Instead of getting stressed, you could use the time to listen to an audiobook or an interesting podcast. The second principle is virtue as the highest good. For Stoics, virtue, acting with integrity, wisdom, justice, and courage, is the most important thing in life. It's not about what happens to you, but how you respond to what happens. The third principle is practical wisdom. This means applying knowledge to live effectively and in harmony with nature and society. Stoics believe that we should use reason and logic to make decisions rather than being driven by emotions. Now that we know the basic principles of Stoicism, let's see how we can apply them in our daily lives for personal transformation. For example, suppose you are facing a problem at work. Instead of panicking or getting frustrated, you can apply the dichotomy of control. Ask yourself, can I do something about it? If the answer is yes, then act calmly and rationally. If the answer is no, accept the situation and move on without letting it affect you emotionally. Another example is when we face criticism or negative comments. Instead of taking it to heart and feeling hurt, Stoics teach us to view these criticisms objectively. Is it something within our control? We can't control what others say, but we can control how we perceive and react to it. We can take constructive criticism and improve, or simply let negative comments pass without affecting us. Finally, the practice of virtue can help us make better decisions and live more fully. For instance, when facing an ethical dilemma, we can choose to act with justice and courage, even if it means making sacrifices. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions or living an austere life. It's about finding peace and balance amidst chaos, living a life rich in purpose and meaning. The key is to practice these principles daily and be mindful of our reactions and decisions. If you start applying Stoicism in your life, you'll not only find a more tranquil way to face challenges but also discover an internal source of strength and resilience. And remember, as Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and leave your comments below. How do you plan to apply Stoicism in your life? I'd love to know. Thank you for joining me today, and see you in the next video.